Welcome, everyone, to the World of Dance podcast. I'm your host, Xander Dames, and with me, I have Josh Killacky and Erica Klein. Did I pronounce that last name correctly, Josh?
Oh, yeah, you killed it. Aced it.
That's what I'm talking about. These two people are amazing. One of the amazing new urban duos to hit the World of Dance stage this season. Josh and Erica met through social media while working on a music video together, and their connection was undeniable. Since then, they've been partnering up as dancers and creators to make magic through movement and are ready to show the world what they can do. And boy, did they. Congratulations on making it to the qualifiers, guys.
Bow, 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 bow.
How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling about that? That was. I got to tell you, I watched it on Tuesday. That was an amazing performance. You guys are like pop, 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 and I was like, my neck. I can't keep up with every pop movement. It was crazy.
We definitely are happy to have made it to the next round. Of course, in our head, like that was like our worst, like. routine, so we
like
could
our
build
least
from there.
piece.
If anything, like we're very, very excited to show our next one because we feel like we push barriers and boundaries and whatnot. But we're very lucky and fortunate to have made it past that round, so we can show even better stuff. Because of course, like we're our worst, critiques and whatnot. So we watched the live performance, and there's some things that we wish we could change, but luckily enough, we filmed it like conceptually in like another room and whatnot, and how we feel like it should be filmed, because we're in love with telling stories and whatnot. But nonetheless, we're very happy with how it turned out. And I just remember they didn't tell us that the judges would be there for like the first round. They were like, "Oh, you're gonna be performing and like from the producers," and like, no worries.
Hold on, Josh. Can you do that one more time? I want to see what did they say exactly to you?
They were like, "You're gonna perform in front of the producers, and then you dance and stuff." So of course, with that in mind, it kind of like took the the nerves away a little bit, because you're like, okay, well, this is just like a practice round, for it to get started, I feel like. But then when we walked in, we were like, oh. They're all here. They're all here.
I mean, I saw the expressions on both your faces, but I mean, you played it cool, though. I gotta admit it. You played it cool.
Did we?
Like,
I don't think so.
I think we looked so nervous. I was like, oh.
Well,
poor
no,
kids.
I mean, I saw it, and both of you, it seemed like you walked in, you saw who was there, and you were like, cool. Yeah.
Oh, that is not how it felt.
I
in
mean,
my head, in my heart, I was like, oh God, oh God.
Yeah.
You guys did an amazing job. Again, like,
Thank you.
You definitely deserved going to the qualifiers. And, it's an amazing opportunity that both of you have had. And Erica, you've been here before, but you haven't gotten this far. So, I mean, you mentioned this experience was a lot different from season 3 when you competed.
Really different.
What was it like this round competing with Josh?
I mean, first of all, competing with like who you're dating, a person you're dating, is just such a different experience, because you're just so much more comfortable, and that can really work against you and with you. Like we're so honest with each other and hard on each other, so it really like pushes us. And then at the same time, it's like nice, because it's a comfort, and it's like a wonderful experience and journey to go on together. So in good ways and in bad ways, it's just such a crazy different experience, like competing with your boyfriend, you know? And then of course, just the stage being different. It was weird. It felt in a sense more chill because of the setting being not as intense and not the big crowds and all that. Definitely felt very intimate. But at the same time, because it's my second time coming on the show, it gets canceled out by the fact that I'm like, oh my God, I have to make it through. Like I have to. So really just pros and cons in all the ways, I'd say.
You mentioned you were nervous, but I mean, this is your second time coming to the show. I mean, why nervous the second time around?
I think just because I really wanted to make it farther than last time. And Yeah, I mean, in a sense, it was interesting because I did feel a little bit more prepared, and there'd be so many times through the process that I'd be talking to Josh and be like, okay, this is going to be like this is going to be like this. Like, I felt like
Yeah,
I was kind of like your guide in a sense, because I was like, oh, I remember this, and this is the
totally.
process. But yeah, just like, also pressure.
Would it have been different feeling knowing that the judges were there prior to your performance? Because I know you mentioned that the judges psyched you guys out.
They totally psyched us out, and that's why I was so surprised when we walked out and all three of them with their pearly whites just cheesing at us, and then we just cheesed back and we're like, "Okay, what do we do? Do we dance yet? Can we dance yet? Oh, we're gonna talk. Okay, let's talk for a couple minutes. Can we dance yet?" And then in my head, I'm like, "Can we not mess up? Because this is we get one chance, one opportunity. Hello."
Right.
I didn't want to disappoint like Erica if we try again and like she still didn't make it on to the next one. You know, I know that would like really, really hurt her. So I was trying to do everything in my favor to like keep cool, have patience, and luckily again she did it. She has done World of Dance before, so I felt like that gave me some ease as well, rather than both of us coming into something that's like completely unexpected and like have no idea how things work. To have that guide was super, super helpful. And honestly, like it made everything way easier. So shout out to EK, Erica Klein, in his house. I think it made the whole experience through it, especially especially from like last episode and whatnot, just way better doing it with your person. Of course, like having us date, you know, while we're dating and whatnot, yeah, we're bluntly honest in rehearsal, which again,
So
pros and
honest.
cons and whatnot. But I will say it was like a memory and moment that I'll never forget. You know, it was a huge moment in my life, and I had a blast. Yeah.
And
It was
Erica,
cool.
I mean, do you feel same?
Oh
She's like,
yeah. I
nah.
mean,
She's like, no, the complete opposite.
no, it's such a unique experience, like getting to tell your relationship story like on camera. It's just such a once in a lifetime thing. Yeah, it's pretty, it feels like a definitely like an epic
That was the
moment in my life.
that was the coolest part. That was the coolest part, seeing like
Yeah,
our story unfold on national
right.
TV. Because of
So
course, like
crazy.
we know our story and we think it's pretty cool. You know, dance brought us together, yada yada yada. But to see it unfold on TV and the way they put like our AJ Mitchell music video where it all started on
Right.
like the backdrop that leads into us talking, and then like we're looking at each other smiling and just the whole
Yeah.
spiel. It was just it was really cool to see from like the outer view, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like what couple gets that
Yeah.
type of a packaging of their
Yeah.
relationship? Like that's just such a cool thing. So
Yeah.
And that's an amazing thing to have that time, especially with the chemistry. You need to have that,
Mhm.
and obviously you both have that. You know, dealing, you know, with both your personal life and your professional life, you both have that chemistry. So that definitely works out in your favor, especially in this competition, because that's the key in this competition is having chemistry with the people you're working with. So
Mhm.
that's definitely one of the main keys to it. So I gotta ask, when JLo and Derek said yes, and you found out you were going to the duels, what was that like?
I mean, you could see it on my face on camera, just the relief. Like, man, in that second, I knew that I was, when I saw how much relief I had, that made me realize how
Yeah.
stressed I was before, because it was like night and day. I was like, oh, thank God.
You're like, it's over. It's
I was
wait, no,
like,
it's
I
not over.
agree.
Hold on.
God.
No, we immediately were. I think that night we went straight into rehearsals for the next
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
swear.
I mean,
Wow.
Like
it'd be like that on TV.
it was a
you know?
relief. At the same time, we were like, oh gosh, this next one's way harder. Uh-oh.
Right.
Here we
right.
go.
Your mindset is that, okay, we need to, you know, we got this far. Let's go to the next one. Let's make the next one, the next one.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's definitely a mindset to have.
I
Yeah.
think just because we also knew that we really personally didn't love our choreography and our song choice as much, we were
Yeah.
really, really just happy to have made it through with that piece, because we were like, okay, we like what's to come. So we're just happy that was enough to get us like to the next place.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Wow.
It's been a while since I like performed live, like
Same.
especially the whole like one, like we're so used to shooting concept videos or
Mhm.
video shoots while collaborating with different brands and whatnot, which takes, you know, hours where you can take your time and, you know, set up the shot and like, you know what, I didn't do that part good. Let me try one more time. And
That
like
voice
that
is your
keeps going,
favorite
going,
today.
going. Yeah, for some reason, shout out Chris D'Elia. Like all-time favorite like comedian. I just somehow it just comes out. But I will say, like, that adrenaline rush, it almost made me miss that adrenaline rush just performing live. So that's why it was really, really, really fun.
We really
experience.
don't do that anymore as
Never.
much.
Yeah.
Wow. So this is definitely a very refreshing experience for both of you, to say the least.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Very.
Listening to Neo and Derek's comments, how are you going to apply that within your next performance?
Of course, Neo has always been very strict on Erica.
So hard on me every time, bro.
I think
at this point I just gotta give up on Neo liking me.
Really? So do you think? I mean, do you feel, Erica, that it's it's something like personally against you, or do you feel that maybe or
they had Twitter beef?
Maybe it could be that because Neo sees the potential in you, maybe that's why he's that hard on you.
Maybe.
I think one thing we took from it was just like dancing together more rather than like side by side and just making choreography. I think within the next one, especially with what Derek said, with as far as in regards to using all of your tools, Erica, you're this beautiful contemporary dancer, but we didn't really showcase the fluidity and whatnot. And I think in the next one we have more of like a combination style opposed to like a strong hitting, more like picture perfect routine how we did in the last one in Mount Everest. So I think in this next one we really took his criticism to heart and really tried mashing, I guess, us a little bit more, and like the story got way deeper and just like we were just way more connected with it. Like going into the show we knew, hey, let's get out Mount Everest. Like we always had that thought, like throughout the entire thing, especially coming up with the other routines we came up with. We were like, oh, Mount Everest, who? We were so hard. You have no idea how hard we are on ourselves. Like, yeah. So that's why we're really, really excited to see that next one. And that's why we took it to heart for that next, for the judges' criticism and whatnot.
It kind of shocks me that you guys really didn't like this routine, because this routine was amazing. I mean, the routine, everything, like it just was so.
That's good to hear.
Amazing. Yeah, no, it was amazing.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, the way you guys were like popping, it was like, wow, it was like, it was just so like, it was just in sync between the two of you. So that was really cool. But so a little bird told me that, during your audition, J-Lo said, this is something I'd pay to see. Okay.
Oh yeah.
What was getting that comment like from the queen herself?
It made the whole experience worth it. Like in that sentence alone, like hearing someone, who the entire pretty much world looks up to as an artist, as a creator, as, a performer, huge respect, and everything that comes out of her mouth, everyone's like, okay, yes, change. So I have huge respect for her. And out of all the judges, I got the most nervous with her, of course. So hearing that statement alone, it just made all the hard work and 8 hours a day for like months straight, just worth it all around. Like no matter how far we got, no matter if we were to get chopped, whatever it is, like I think that comment alone stuck with me. And I mean, we talk about it, Erica and I talk about it as soon as, after our performances and whatnot. I think that comment alone just stuck out so much. And no matter how hard on ourselves we are and stuff that we can change and whatnot, I think that comment just made, again, everything just worth it.
I wouldn't doubt it.
It's a hard process. It's such a hard process. The leading up, I'm telling you, we've went through a roller coaster of emotions of, arguing, into being super cracked out on coffee, into like, oh, we should do that. And like, it was a whole roller coaster, which was enjoyable. But of course they had, had its times, but I think J-Lo saying that made it worth it. Despite Neo hating us.
I highly doubt Neo hated you guys. Otherwise, I mean, y'all wouldn't be where you're at right now. So, I doubt that that's the case. But I mean, you are now, like, since you've been on national television, I'm sure that you're now considered hometown heroes. I mean, where are you guys from originally?
I'm from Northern California, which is actually where I am currently.
Currently, I like that.
Quarantly. Wow.
It's quarantinely currently. No.
We'll go with currently. I like currently.
Currently. So where are you from, Erica?
I'm from NorCal. I'm from Monterey, California.
Nice. And you, Josh?
I'm from Chicago, Illinois.
Oh,
Originally.
wow. Oh, wow.
But-
the Windy City.
Yeah, but I live in Los Angeles right now.
How are your close friends treating you now that they've seen you on World of Dance and you've made it to the qualifiers? I mean, I'm sure that adds just a little teeny tiny bit more pressure on you, knowing that you have friends and family rooting for you and hoping that you make it to the next level.
I think I'm enjoying my sister Facebook status saying, "Hey, Josh and Erica are gonna, be on World Dance, and seeing all her friends' comments of like,
Right.
no, wait, like something about that. I enjoy almost like following that more than like getting tagged and like mentioned and whatnot. It's just like it's funny for me.
I had a couple of funny experiences yesterday. I was getting tagged and mentioned in stories and stuff, and like so many messages of like, or like people posting on the story being like, I went to elementary school with her. I used to do karate with her.
Yeah, the
We
childhood
have the
friends
same
come
birthdays.
out.
And I'm like, who are you? What?
Yeah.
You're like, I did karate?
Yeah.
You always get those people from like you went to school with, maybe shared a class with. They're like, oh my god, my old best friend
Right.
is finally like, oh my god, like we gotta link up soon. I was like, wait, we haven't talked in about 10 years.
Yeah, you're like, wait a minute, I don't even know. Oh, are we in the same city? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Which is really cool.
They're like, we went to school here in LA. I'm not from LA.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, never mind then. That must have been another Josh.
I know. No, the exposure is great. The exposure is so cool. Especially to like a certain crowd that we can't really reach ourselves. So with the help of course with NBC World of Dance, I think it's really cool that we got to reach a whole nother crowd and audience that we don't usually reach, with our concept videos that we do alone. So I think that's really, really cool to just get like new people's checking out, from that one performance. I'm sure they're checking out like our other work, what we're also known for. So I think that's really, really cool.
No, that's awesome, man. I mean, like, speaking of new peoples, I mean, did you know any of the other contestants when you got there?
Yeah. I mean, the LA dance world is so small. And so, especially the people that were from Los Angeles as well, like I have collaborated with some of them before and we're friends. And, that actually, I would say both seasons, even last season, I felt the same way. A lot of like old friends or people that we've been following each other on social media for a couple of years and keeping up with each other's work. And now it was like an opportunity to develop like a deeper relationship. So that's always the best part, I think, for me, honestly, is just like meeting and talking to the other contestants, because everybody's so talented and like everybody's really humble and just cool, just in a cool mind space, I think, for that kind of, for these kind of shows.
I mean, of course we like collab with everyone and whatnot, but there's a lot of people that we, usually see in class or just like, of each other through like social media and whatnot. So like, we know each other, but being in person and talking and getting to know everyone a little bit more, was really just awesome. Because I mean, dance, to a certain degree, it's a very like selfish, like you have to train yourself, you have to put in the hours, the work, the time. So, to relate that to like some of our acquaintance friends, dance friends and whatnot, and seeing where they are and how nervous they are, we could share our nerves together and be on the same page, and everyone's like, we love dance, oh my god, dance. Like it's a cool experience.
For a competition show, it's like everybody's so supportive and nice.
Even though you're competing against each other, so that's really cool.
It just never feels, both seasons,
feel
it
like
never feels that way. People want you to win. Like, people are rooting for you. Like, it's,
Wow, that's really cool. It's not cutthroat at all. So that's a really cool thing.
Like, probably on TV, like, it clearly definitely shows way like more competitive energy. I understand that. But at
Right.
one, you know, when we're like at craft services and whatnot, getting snacks and drinking water together, we're all like,
Yeah.
oh dude, how was it,
Making
man? Like,
TikToks
blah, blah,
together.
blah, blah. Like, you want me to massage your feet? Because I can right now, actually. I'm like it was just all like family love, you know.
That's
Yeah,
cool
yeah,
though.
yeah.
That's really cool though.
Definitely.
So I mean, well, talking about, you know, connections and everything, how long have you been dancing together prior to World of Dance?
Well,
Mm.
it had been like 2 years.
Yeah, I'd say about 2 years, off and
About
on
2
though.
years from like from like today. But yeah, off and on, because like since we do such different styles,
Mhm.
we intersect like every couple of months for like a project or a job or something. So yeah.
We don't dance together as often as you would think. Like,
Mhm.
we don't have like a weekly schedule where,
Right.
you know, like, all right, time to get in our, you know.
Yeah. If
But
anything, sometimes dancing together is like our dates, because like we're both so busy with our own jobs. We'll be like,
that's
hey,
facts.
let's take a dance class together like tonight at like
Yeah,
6,
yeah, yeah.
because it's like our way of like hanging out
That
and
is
going on
Hey,
dates.
and that virtually is, because I mean, think about it. Typical dates are dinner and dancing. You got the dancing
Right.
part out of the way, so
Yeah.
There you go.
you know,
Us, it's like
Right.
it's like Starbucks and dancing.
And
There
it's
you go.
productive at the same time.
hey, there you go.
Yes.
There you go. So
Yes.
that works out great. So, but when it comes to the choreography, do you split the responsibilities, or is it more of a collaboration?
I guess that we
It's a
structured it.
collaboration.
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
a collaboration, but we did a thing where we were like, okay, you take control of this part. Okay, you take
Yeah.
control of this part. And then there'd be moments where we would just feed off of each other's energy, shout out to coffee, where we would just like vibe and like we would do something or
Yeah.
bring like a sound out, and we both would do this like look at each other and be like, oh yeah, 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 yeah. And that would just
And-
like keep going.
In real life, Josh is like such a leader and like so social and like out there, and I'm much more like of a like introvert and chill. So in life, he usually always takes the lead. But I would say like the one time in part of my life where I'm very like assertive and very like I need this in specific is like when I'm doing choreography. So in a sense, in our relationship, it flows so well. But then when we're in rehearsal, my like leader assertiveness comes out, and then it's like we both have such different training and different ideas. So it was definitely, I would say, sometimes really challenging, because it was
Yeah.
such a different dynamic than it is in the normal life, where I let you kind of like lead.
Well, it's almost like opposites attract, you know, and
Right.
and that's the way that's like yin and yang. And you
Yeah.
know, I gotta go ahead and, you know, call you on a lie here, Erica. I mean, Josh being extroverted, get out of here. He's not at all.
Yeah.
He's so shy.
Oh yeah.
I can tell
not
he's
at
very
all.
shy. He's incredibly shy.
I stay in my box.
Yeah.
And you introverted? You know, I don't believe that either. I can't believe it.
Oh my God.
But you know,
Yeah.
and speaking of extrovert, so Josh, I heard you recently have started a new project, World of Dance Records.
Oh yeah.
Can you let us know a little bit about the inside scoop on that?
Yeah, so in regards to World of Dance Records, they have officially signed me as a music artist, as a recording artist, and
Congratulations!
Thank you so much. Woo, woo. And music is something I've always wanted to do ever since I joined a boy band when I was like 16. The boy band's name was called Believe, which, by the way, I think Bieber released his album Believe in that exact year. So going around saying, hey, what Believe, like was just not something we were confident on. But the coolest part about the experience, I'm always grateful for this, because I feel like it was my opportunity to like hear my voice on music with a good production, which inspired me to like, oh wow, if I can dance to other people's music, what if I were to dance to my own music and create my own visuals that the base of it is stemmed from like my own voice, you know? So I think that just inspired me to keep it going once, you know, the boy band, you know, fell off, whatnot, to just keep going with music. And I invested a lot of time and money into like my first music video called Serpent, which Erica actually plays a lead role in. She's the serpent.
Nice.
And then they
Claim to fame.
World of Dance.
Nice.
Yeah, World of Dance saw that, and they're now just taking a jump and investing a lot of time into me. And I think it's a perfect partnership, because I really want to bring dance back into like the music like industry and performances and bring in that energy. And I feel like there's a space open for what I have to offer. And that kind of just motivates me. And, you know, World of Dance Records and I are just on the same page with everything. And they just want to be the tools for my creativity. Like whatever I have to offer creative wise, they're open ears. And I think that's what makes like a dream team in a sense. So I'm super excited. We're actually having, you know, we have calls like every Wednesday prepping my first music video shoot where I'm going to be flying back to my hometown, Chicago, for this song called Workin', which I've been teasing people here and there. So the music, they're helping me just grow and I guess expand into my artistry. So super excited to show these visuals and music because yeah, now like this is like real, honestly, it's like a dream come true. It's something I've always wanted to be. I've always wanted to be a music artist, traveling, touring the world, directing my own shows, choreographing my own shows, having that creative. And now that I have a partner like World of Dance Records, I now feel like things can just move way quicker and efficiently. So super excited. I know I just rambled a lot. I'm just super stoked for it.
No, that's awesome. No, that's awesome. So what first got you started in music and where did your passion come from?
What first got me started into music was the audition for a boy band. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, like I've always wanted to be in a boy band ever since.
So wait, you believed in yourself.
Wow, that was good.
Hey,
was
I had to do the play on words, you know?
High IQ. I like that. Wow. But the funniest part actually was the audition consisted of me meeting in this sushi restaurant like an hour away from me and me singing live for the first time. This is low-key like the first time I ever sang. Like in this like high-end sushi restaurant where everyone's full, like almost every table was taken up, and your man stood up and was like,
that's so uncomfortable. Why would they make you do that?
I think they wanted to see where my courage was and my confidence was.
Yeah, how you would react with a crowd as opposed to just, you know, an empty. No, that's actually very smart. But
I knew I wasn't good. That's the funny part. Is like I knew I was not good at singing during that time. So I kind of just
went into it. What was the reaction? Like, what did everybody do? Were they like
they're like, this is so uncomfortable.
Or maybe he does that often, where people are used to it.
Or it's like, is he on drugs? Like,
yeah. I don't even know. But the coolest part though is they gave me like the contract like the next day, so that made me feel really good. And that's where I started believing in myself as a music artist.
I like that. Yeah. I like that. But we heard you got to work with producers PK and Hookman on your new up and coming single "Workin'." How was that experience?
It was a fast experience. Like I would think it would take days and days to like write and record a song and perfect it, but to be honest, it was in like one session. It was the first session we had together, the first day I met them, and from the jump, like they just had great energy. PK, you know, making a beat on spot, and me and Hookman in the background, like, oh, okay, this is how it goes. So like the most important thing, especially in like a music studio, is just the energy you're projecting. You know, not one person is just like you have to be solely like dived in, just willing to like project energy and make some creative stuff, and we'll vibe off of each other, give lyrics or like give melodies and whatnot. And it was so sick to see Hookman work, because he'll literally just be like, as soon as PK like made the beat and whatnot, he's like, all right, hold on, let me come up with some melodies, some flows, and he'll get in the studio and just like he'll mumble lyrics, of course, to get the flow down. And just like seeing him work firsthand just inspired me. I was like, dang, I got some work to do, because the speed of that was super inspiring. I was like, all right, I got to put in my hours. But after he put down some melodies, I put down some melodies, started getting the lyrics together, and then I recorded it that day, and it was fun. I was ready for the next song. So this Workin' one is an energetic song that I think it will get everyone to just get up and like take like a little break from, you know, what's going on in the world, and just, you know, music is medicine to the soul. So yeah, super stoked.
Nice. So I heard that Kang from the Future Kings is on the single as well. How was he to work it? And
Yeah.
both of you are from Chicago, right?
Yeah, so that's like the whole, again, like energy is everything. And once I started seeing him making music as well, we just thought it was a good idea to collab on this working song. I had to hit him up, especially like you said, both of us being from Chicago. We want to represent our hometown and where we're from and whatnot. So jumping on a song together was like something we had to do. And when I go back home to Chicago in a couple of weeks to film this, we're going to make some dope choreography up and just bring it to life. And again, everything means so much more when we're both representing the same place. We both understand where we come from, and what it takes, what hard work takes to like do something about it. So every time we would FaceTime each other, it was nothing but good vibes. And like every dance video we've done together and collab like gets hits on hits. So we're like, okay, if we could get hits and hits from our dance videos, what if we tried it in music? So as soon as we had that conversation, he jumped on the track, sent me his verse, and I was flipping out because I was like, all right, so when's this like choreography session? It's like, we need to get on it. Because even if it wasn't our song, I would still like the song enough to collaborate with him just dance wise. So knowing that we have best of both worlds and something that we're both representing at the same time, it all just makes sense.
Nice. So is there anything your fans should be looking out for? Is there an EP release coming soon? I mean, what can you tell me on that one?
Right now, we're really focusing on the single Workin', which should be out, and fingers crossed in a couple of weeks, with quarantine and everything going on. It's hard to specify a specific date. So, timing is everything. So look out in a couple of weeks. But possibly in like a week or two, we may release the exact date. Just right now, we're just taking it day by day.
Nice. Eric, are you looking forward to his single?
I'm so excited. Of course, I have personal bias towards the songs coming up that are maybe inspired by a certain someone.
Gee, I wonder who could that be. I don't know.
Are you going to be in the music video? Be like,
I
the
literally
serpent
told
is
him-
always in one.
I told him, I was like, I have to be one of your backup dancers. Like, you have to hire me as one of your backup
Either
dancers.
that or the choreographer of all his dance too. I mean,
that would be pretty fire too. But no, I'm really excited. There's a couple songs coming up that, I mean, me and my contemporary dance self, I love like a slower emotional song. So Josh is so high energy and fun, and he does all those, like,
not. He's not.
he does,
Come on.
he does so good in the genre of like hype, fun, like upbeat songs, and that's really what this first song feels like. But of course, I really enjoy the more like artsy Josh vibes that are going to be coming up in the future. So it's cool
for
that
all the TikTokers.
All the TikTokers. It's just cool that he has such a range, and that's what. And I feel like on the show, he really had to show his range because he's so known as like a hip hop dancer, high energy, like funny dance challenge person. But because of my contemporary background, we kind of meant more in the artsy area. And I feel like it's cool that he can be so diverse in his dancing, and also in his music, he has multiple different genres, I suppose. So I'm just excited for people to see like his diversity in that as well.
Nice. Well, it seems like both of you have a lot going on and a lot to look forward to. I mean, I just gotta say, good luck to you in the next round, the duels. Congratulations again for making it to the qualifiers. Josh, congratulations on your music, and I look forward to seeing both of you continue forward in the world of dance. And thank you so much for being on the World of Dance podcast, both of you, Erica Klein, Josh Killacky. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you guys again very soon.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, you guys have a good day and stay safe.
All right.
Okay, thank you. You too.
Thanks so much, Josh and Erica, for being on the World of Dance podcast. And let me tell you, if you guys want to go ahead and follow them on Instagram, feel free to do so. You can follow Josh at Josh Killacky. That's JoshKillacky. And you could also follow Erica at Erica_Klein. That's ERICA_KLEIN. Make sure you go ahead and check them out. So on the World of Dance podcast, I have MDC3, and they are under the leadership of well-known choreographer Shannon Mather. The dancers of Mather Dance Company are a force to be reckoned with, let me tell you. Training and rehearsing 6 to 10 hours a day, and well known for their bass performances. This trio vulnerably pull inspiration from their own lives. When Maddie's mom was battling breast cancer for the second time, Maddie wanted to work through her emotion by creating a dance to raise awareness. With many more stories to tell, MDC3 are eager to hit the World of Dance stage with hopes to inspire people all over the world through dance. Congratulations, you guys, on making it to the duels. I mean, that must be insane, y'all.
Yeah, we're super excited.
No, that's amazing, and I got to tell you, Maddie, your story really hit home for me, simply because I lost my mom to cancer.
Oh, wow.
And it really like it struck a chord with me. I actually recently lost her in 2016, so I got to tell you, she was my inspiration for a lot of the things that I do. So I'm definitely there with you. I understand, the struggle you go through, the distraction, the having to just push through. So very happy that you were able to push through even with all that, all those terrible things happening around you. So definitely happy for you on that, in that front.
Thank you. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you very much. But in essence, you all pulled an amazing performance. You were all in sync with one another. It was such a beautiful performance that I watched on Tuesday, and it was just like, it was so fluid how you guys are going at it. I mean, obviously you all have been friends for a long time. You've been friends since childhood practically, and still continue to grow together. I mean, how did you all meet and become a trio currently dancing together for 7+ years?
We all met at my mom's studio, Mather Dance Company, and we just started training together and started to do trios together since we were really little. So we kind of just grew together and trained together. Yeah, we've been dancing as a trio for 6 years. So we've definitely built a strong connection and trust each other a lot, I'd say, throughout our process as a trio.
Nice. And I mean, you guys work 6 to 10 hours, practicing. I mean, walk me through a normal day for you all.
So a normal day before quarantine, we would the studio right after school. So we would get there at like 3 or 4. Maddie would get there later because her school ends later. And we would have ballet and then technique and then combo or hip hop. And then we would have all of our rehearsals after that. So till like 10 or even 10:30. We train at our studio around 4 days a week, and then we'll have our trio rehearsals most likely on the weekends. So we're basically together nonstop and always training.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, and how was it like being in front of the camera? I mean, do you ever get used to it?
It was definitely different at first because we're not used to talking in front of the camera or anything. So it was definitely a weird experience, but we got used to it after. We got used to it towards the end of the first round as well. Like before, I know we were all really nervous and we didn't really act ourselves, but you can kind of tell like towards the end of the first round we were getting a bit more.
Nice. And so basically, this season things changed for the first round. Instead of performing on the LED stage with the cheering audience, they stripped the audition down to a small room with just the judges. What was it like being in such an intimate setting with the judges so early on in the process?
The energy was definitely a lot different compared to having an audience that they've had in past seasons. But I kind of liked it more because we were able to focus more in on ourselves as a trio instead of feeling all this outside energy from like our performance.
Yeah, and it definitely motivated us more because we really like ever since like the show started, we wanted to be on World of Dance and we wanted to be on the stage. So that just like pushed us even harder to want to be on that stage.
I mean, basically, to quote J-Lo, you have to earn the stage this year. Do you guys feel that your qualifier performance proved that you're ready for the big stage?
I think we definitely proved that we're ready for duels, and I think everyone's going to have to wait and see how they react to our duels to see if we make it to the big stage. We definitely upped our game for the duels, I'd say. Yeah.
Nice. I'm looking forward to seeing, how it's going to be, how you guys are going to do on the duels. So looking forward to that. Was there a specific comment from the judges that stuck out to you?
I love that they all thought we were really creative and innovative because that's definitely what we work for in the studio. And hearing that from like such like big inspirations, I think really just like made our day. It was also nice to hear how much they loved our storytelling since that's such a big factor in our performance, and definitely our threading. They loved a lot, and we always work hard in the studio to find unique threading and ways of partnering.
No, that's awesome. I mean, and I gotta ask, something stood out to me when Neo said that, he interpreted the dance as a love triangle. Was that the interpretation that you were trying to give out to begin with?
Yeah, so apologize was about Maddie's trying to apologize to Diego, but he's already found somebody new, which was me. So we were trying to get that point across, and I think everyone got it pretty clearly.
So in essence, it was more of a, you know what, I've moved on type of thing. Yeah. Instead of him having to choose between the two of you, it was more like him saying, I've moved on to someone else. And I'm sorry that you're like this, but it is what it is.
And telling me that it's too late to come back, that he's already.
Wow, you pretty much went ahead and just told my whole life story. So I mean, I'm Maddie in this situation all the time, but we'll go ahead and talk about that later. Anyways, no, I'm just kidding. Obviously, Maddie, we understand that you have a major support system in your mom and everything, but I mean, as all of you as a whole, who was your support system, whether it be friends, family, coach, in the first round of the auditions?
Definitely her mom, Shannon Mather, and my sister, who was always there backstage with Shannon. Yeah, they really supported us through it all because we would get so nervous. And one thing we do when we get nervous is we pray, and we're just always there for each other. So they're really good at leading the prayer and calming us down and just telling us we have what it takes to go and do this. And that helps a lot to hear it from some people we love so much. Yeah, we're basically a big family situation because my sister is her mom's assistant and her mom's our teacher, and he's basically our brother. So it's just a crazy little situation.
So pretty much anybody messes with you, they have to mess with Diego right there. You can tell.
Yeah.
You're like, no one messes with my sisters right here, man. No, but that's really cool, though. That's really cool that you guys have that kind of a connection, all of you together. That's really awesome. So did you know any of the other contestants when you got there?
Yeah, we actually did know a couple from like dance conventions, dance competitions, and yeah.
Harrison James we've known for like a while through a dance convention, and obviously we know Bailey and Kita, like they're amazing.
Yeah, we know Jake and Chow from past competitions and conventions. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. And what was your experience watching other performers and routines?
It was definitely inspiring to see so much talent in one competition because there were competitors from all over the world that we knew of, but we've never like seen dance in person. So it was just good to see that. It was also really nerve-wracking, knowing who we were going up against, but I think it like motivated us to try even harder once we saw a competition.
No, that's really cool. And, at first glance, who did you think your biggest competition was exactly?
A week before we left for the qualifiers, we had a fitting, and we saw Chibi Unity when we were in the fitting, and
I saw them perform actually a couple years ago, and they were super amazing. And so I thought that they were going to be a huge competition for us.
And that definitely scared us. Because,
Yeah.
So we were walking into this fitting and we see them and we're like, oh no.
You're like, uh-oh.
Well, we see
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Who else is on the show? So.
And obviously Bailey and Kita too, because they're such huge hip-hop inspirations in the dance community.
And they're also like a duo and we're a trio,
Yeah.
and we're so different. So we were also scared for we were just nervous going into it, knowing there's all these really strong hip hop acts.
Yeah.
I mean, and how was it like performing in front of, J-Lo, Neo, and Derek? I mean, that must have been like a surprise for all of you when you walked in.
Yeah, for sure.
We didn't know they were there the whole time we were there. And once we walked in, we're like, oh, we have to step up our game,
It was
Yeah.
also really nerve-wracking going into it, but by the time the last move ended, it felt so good, the weight
Such
off
a
my
relief.
shoulders.
Yeah.
And just knowing we danced in front of them, I actually did that, it's just a really big accomplishment.
It honestly didn't even feel real at first. When we walked in, they looked like it was just a projector because they look so perfect in person.
They were
That's crazy.
glowing.
Nice. Well, I'm glad that you all had an amazing experience, in this round. Again, congratulations on making it to the duels. How can people go ahead and follow you on social media?
We have a trio account, which is MDC3 official on Instagram, and that's basically our handle on all of our platforms.
On Twitter, YouTube,
Yeah.
and then on Instagram,
And
Facebook. And then we all have personal accounts. So mine is one Emma Mather.
Mine is Diego Pacias _.
And mine is Madison Smith with 3 H's and an underscore.
Nice. Well, that's going to be kind of hard for everybody to remember. So we'll go ahead and try to put how many H's? Like a 5? Okay, 6. No, 7. Okay, good. That's really cool. Well, again, congratulations to all of you. And I look forward to seeing you guys again, and seeing you guys continue forward.
Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much.
Thanks so much for being on the World of Dance podcast, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye. See you next time.
Thanks so much, MDC3, for being on the World of Dance podcast. I wish all of my guests today luck in the upcoming duels. So hopefully, they'll go ahead and do well with that. But for now, thank you so much, all of you, for watching episode 3 of the World of Dance podcast season 4. Now, don't forget to go ahead and check out my podcast, The Xander Effect, every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday, for everything that having to do with entertainment, sports, and video games. And I also play amazing music from up and coming artists. And I also get to interview some incredible musicians, actors, and everything having to do in the world of entertainment, sports, and video games. So don't miss out. The Xander Effect every single week. But for now, we'll see you next time.